was music not only your best friend, but it was a kind of like a protector for you during a time where maybe you didn't know if your friends are going to be around because you were moving as often as you were?
I didn't see it as such then, but in hindsight, I would say yes, because what I realized was it took most of my life. I mean, it wasn't until maybe relatively recently that I could go to sleep without music playing. Like I always had to have sound, and not just random sound, but music. I would, for a while, my mother would get upset at me because I would just have the radio on. She would think I forgot and fell asleep with it on. And I was like, no, I'm actually listening. Like, I need that on to feel like myself. And so, yeah, music has always accompanied me and given me a sense of security. I never thought about it that way, but I can remember when there was a schism and I all of a sudden was no longer sleeping to music. And one could describe that era as a little dangerous, a little sketchy.
How would you tell people, like, what message would you give people coming up who are listening to you and they want to be inspired? Because you sound very motivated to motivate others.
Man, to stay inspired, I'll say this. We all, no matter where we find ourselves, we either coming out of something or on our way into something. And that something could be good or it could be bad. If it's good and you're still here, it means there's still room for better. Uh, if it's bad, and especially hear me about this, if it's bad and you're still here, that means there's still room for better. That means, and if you can stop again, we've talked a couple times in this conversation about pausing. I've learned recently, especially recently, the power of just pausing, just stopping. Because think about it, in this era, in the 21st century, we've got information inundating us left and right. And I'm not somebody who's a technological, who's scared of technology. I'm not a technophobe. Technology is how we are able to communicate right now. So I think technology has marvelous applications, but at the same time, with every convenience comes a cost. And so we're getting bombarded with all these messages and all this information. We don't know which way is what. We don't trust institutions anymore. And if we just take a step back and pause for a second, it's amazing how many things we can just kind of like just make freeze, and that quiet of our mind, we can actually reflect. And when you reflect, if you can remember whatever that worst thing is that ever happened to you was, it means you survived it. It means you're surviving it if you're still in the middle of it. And it means that from that point forward, what can you do to just make the next day better? What can you do to improve yourself on a daily basis? My motto, my slogan, my brand is BYBD, be your best daily. Don't worry about comparing yourself to me. I don't need to have your abs. You don't need to have my arms. Don't worry about that. Just where are you today, and what can you do tomorrow to make tomorrow just a little bit better than today? If you keep doing that on an incremental basis, you'll have some of your best days. You'll have some of your best weeks. You'll have some of your best months. You'll have some of your best years. You'll have some of your best decades. And if you trip up, no big deal. Just start over.